Jai Shri Mataji. Good evening, everyone, and welcome for this Friday evening meditation. We're going to start by bowing down to Shri Mataji, raising our Kundalini and putting Bandhan on. We can close our eyes and quietly, with full devotion and dedication, invite Shri Mataji into our hearts. We can place Shri Mataji's feet in our hearts. And surrender. Shri Mataji, we do absolutely nothing. Verily, you are the doer, and you are the enjoyer. Please give us your blessings. Please unite us in our Sahasraras. We can place both our hands on the Mother Earth. And we can ask Mother Earth to absorb any negativities that are disturbing us. Mother Earth, we thank you for all the beauty that you give us, for everything that you do for us. We can put our left hand on our lap, and with our full attention in the Muladhara chakra, we can say the mantra to Sri Ganesha once. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. We can put our attention in the left side and ask Shri Mataji, Shri Mataji, please purify and nourish our left side. And we can say the mantra to Shri Mahakali Sakshat Shri Bhairava. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Shri Nirmala Devi Namo. Shri Mataji, please establish pure love and pure joy and positivity within us. We can bring our right hand back on our lap and put the left hand up in the ether to clear the right side. We can keep our attention on the right side and say the mantra to Shri Mahasaraswati Sakshat Shri Hanumana. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Mahasaraswati Sakshat Shri Hanuman Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. We can put our we can put our left hand on our right nabi. And we can say the mantra to Sri Raja Lakshmi. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Raja Lakshmi Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Let's meditate for a few moments with our attention in the right nabi. Let's try and feel the qualities of Raja Lakshmi, the peace and dignity, We can place our left hand back on our lap. And we can put our attention in the void and nabi area. Shri Mataji, please establish the balance within us. Shri Mataji, please make us truly peaceful and satisfied. We can say the mantra to Sri Lakshmi Vishnu. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Lakshmi Vishnu Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Shri Mataji, please establish the gravity and stability within us. We can say the Guru mantra. Gurura Brahma, Gurura Vishnu, Gurura Devo Maheshwara, Gurura Sakshat Para Brahma, Shri Mataji Nirmalama, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Tvameva Mata Japita Tvameva, Tvameva Bandhur Jasaka Tvameva, Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva, Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. With our attention, we can raise our Kundalini from Muladhara to Sahasrara along the spinal cord a few times. We can place our hand on the center heart. Shri Mataji, please make our center hearts strong. Please remove any fears, any uncertainties, any worries. Shri Mataji, by your grace, I am fully protected by you. We can say the mantra to Shri Durga Mata Jagadamba. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Durga Mata Jagadamba Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. We can place our right hand on our left Vishuddhi. And with full confidence, we can say, Shri Mataji, by your grace, I am not guilty of anything. Shri Mataji, by your grace, I am not guilty of anything. We can now place our right hand on our forehead and lean our forehead down. And here we can say, Shri Mataji, by your grace, I forgive everyone and I forgive myself. With our head still resting in our palm, we can say the mantra to Shri Mahat Ahamkara. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Mahat Ahamkara Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. We can bring our right side down if we still feel a bit of pressure where the ego is. We can say once again, Mother, I do absolutely nothing. Verily, you are the doer and you are the enjoyer. Shri Mataji, by your grace, I am not this body, I'm not this mind. I am only the spirit. My only desire is to become the pure spirit. to feel the spirit within me all the time. We can put our attention in Sahasrara. Shri Mataji, please come into our Sahasraras. We can say Shri Mataji's mantras. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Mahalakshmi Mahasaraswati Mahakali Trigunatmika Kundalini Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Kalki Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Kalki Sakshat Shri Sahasrara Swamini Moksha Pradayani Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. 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 We can have a few moments of silent meditation, and then we're going to listen to Shri Mataji's talk. It's going to be Sri Krishna Puja from 1981.
what time is very detailed information about their attack, how they attack. Now we have to know that there is a war on between the satanic forces and the divine. Now you are the people who have chosen to be divine. But even if you have chosen that, and God has accepted you and has given you your own powers, still you must know that you are still vulnerable very much to the attack of the negativity upon you. Now always one has to remember that divine will win in any case. There is no doubt about it. Supposing you fail the divine, you will be the losers, not the divine. If you all fail the divine, then you will be destroyed as negatives. So in the ultimate destruction, divine will finish off all that is satanic. There is no doubt about it. But how many people are going to be destroyed is the problem. So you all have to be very much alert that you are to be saved. And you are not going to be one of those who are destroyed. The more we say, the better will be our enjoyment. The more people we say, there will be a greater power flowing, and the effect of that impact will be such that we might ourselves able to negate all that is satanic, and a very little will be left which will be destroyed. So the responsibility on the third of is to understand that there is a war going on. Now this war is within and without. First basic thing, within and without. First we must see the within. The within war is that we are the spirit or not. Very too simple. We are the spirit or we are not the spirit. If we are the spirit, that means we are not ego, we are not superego, and we are not this body, this mind or anything, but we are the spirit, which is perfect. So all the imperfections that come within us are our own. And we are responsible for the imperfections, because whatever God does is perfect. And when we see that there are imperfections, that is also a very big if. If we see, because that seeing is also not possible for many people. They are so blinded by their ego, they cannot see, they are not aware of it. Or some are so blinded by their possessions and superego, they cannot see. If you tell them that you have a superego, they get double egoed. If you tell them you have an ego, they get superego. Because they are still identified with that. So to be able to see, first of all, is the first step. But if you see, if absolutely a big if, see that you are not perfect, that you are not to justify your imperfections, that you are not your imperfections, but you are your perfect being. You are actually, but just now you are not. So the movement is very, very slippery in the beginning. So one by one, you must put your foot steadily as a climber on a snowy mountain does. First step should be that Can we see our imperfections, not others? First of all, not to see others is the first principle of Sahaja Yoga. First principle of Sahaja Yoga is not to see others' imperfections. What is the game? I mean, I just can't understand this, because I am very differently made. I can't understand what's the use of seeing imperfections of others. I mean, you cannot correct it. You cannot do anything about it. By seeing them, you do not improve. By seeing them, you cannot improve collectivity. So, there is no sense in seeing others' imperfections. Now, first of all, see your own problems, your own angularity, your own misidentifications and imperfections. When you start seeing them, then the first thing you will do, best way to avoid everything. I mean, avoidance is a very great character of human beings. But in a subtle way, it is insincerity to yourself, to your ascent, and to God. So face it. Now you see your imperfections correctly, in the sense, you see, yes, I am possessed, no doubt. If I am possessed, why should I be possessed? I must do everything that is under my control to get rid of it. Now a possessed person is always an abnormal person. Either he doesn't talk, or if he talks too loudly. They are in dualities, always remain. Either he is very hot-tempered, or he is oversweet. Any person who is extremely sweet, all the time is very sweet, never gets angry, that's abnormal. Should be able to sometimes show your anger. For example, somebody beats your mother, won't you be angry? At that point, you should be angry. You have to be. I mean, if you have a personality, and a discreet, wise personality, you should be angry if somebody does anything to you. You should be angry. That anger is given for that right correction of a person who tries to harm the source of wisdom, source of everything. So that anger is all right, justified. And in that way, one should again not to be deluded that if mother has said at that time anger is all right, then anger is justified. This is the trouble with human beings, is that they generalize everything. So one has to know one thing, that you were human beings. Now today you are yogis, but you are human beings. And that human beingness is still there in you, still lingering in you. And all these things are like caterpillars, parts are still hanging around you, that you still behave like human beings. You should not, you should behave like a yogi. And yogi is discreet by nature. He knows where to get angry, he knows where not to get angry. But for a Sahaja Yogi, one has to learn it by dropping out all those human beingness that is attached to you. So the discretion, and that wise discretion, is to be developed. Like Krishna has said that you have to go and fight. Take the swords in your hand and fight the enemies. Now one would say that Krishna has said, take a sword in your hand, now go on killing everyone. Then even Hitlerism can be justified. He said, your enemies. This is important. Your enemies. Now who are your enemies? Who go against your ascent. There are 6 in number. One is lust. Lust. Of course, perversions are out of question, but even too much of lust, like you see, too much attachment to husband, too much attachment to wife. But the other side is also there. Running away from sex is another nonsense, you see. That's another sign that you are possessed. Definitely, no doubt. If you are husband and wife, you must have sex life, but a sensible one. And a relationship should be such that it should ultimately culminate into it, and not the way people all the time think of sex. If you think normally of sex, then it's something wrong. Only when you reach a point of that thing, then you should feel it. I mean, that's a normal way. Like when we don't think all the time of water, do we? When we are thirsty, only then we think, isn't it? But those who think about water all the time means you must be having lots of thirsty people within you. That they are asking for water, 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 water. It's a point where you reach, where you feel hungry about it. And there is a sense, there is a way of taking water. How much particularly we are about taking ordinary thing like water. It should be from a clean source, whether it is coming from the kitchen or not, we'll first find out. It should be in a clean glass, from a clean person, everything. We are very fussy on that part. I wish we could be the same way fussy about our married lives. That this is something where we put your heart and mind. Are we clean enough? Are we sweet enough? Are we all right? So this is one of the very important attacks I have seen. You marry a person and it's finished in this country. In India it's different. Here if you marry a person, suddenly you find God knows what happens. They all end up into lunatic asylums. I mean, that's a pass for them to drop out. One of the big sieves is marriage in the West. So these sieves are there, so be careful not to drop out of the sieves. And keep your mind upon yourself, judging yourself how we work out. So the first one is kama, is the lust. Second, very important, is krodha. So Krishna has put krodha above kama, is anger, heated personality. Angry. He thinks that krodha comes even before kama. He was so much against anger. If you are an angry person, take out anger upon yourself. Beat yourself nicely. Best thing is to beat your face. Then you are hurt a little bit. So you'll remember it to begin with. Then you beat yourself on the ground with shoes every morning. You get angry, all right, have it. Because this heated temperament is a big curse, is your enemy. That gives you a very great weakness against collectivity. You see, a heated man never realizes that he is an angry man. And that's the base of satanic forces. Because they act on you because they're angry with you. They're jealous. Maybe any reason. They're angry with God. The whole base is anger and hatred. So the second point is we should see, have we got anger within us? If you have anger, you cannot enjoy a sunshine, you cannot enjoy a flower, you cannot enjoy anything. Ultimately, you can't even bear yourself. The best way to punish such a person is to put him in a jail, alone. Then he faces himself, then he gets rid of it. That's the best way, I think. That's not the way I can understand. That separate him. Let him put into seclusions. When he goes into seclusion, he'll have to face himself. And then he looks at him, gets angry. And then that anger goes on. See, if you keep with them, with others, you see, then he has a chance to get more angry. Maybe he might grow into his anger more. So the kama, krodha, mada is the third thing. Kama, krodha, mada. Mada is what you call is the pride. Or pride is a decent word. Vanity. It comes out of ignorance. If you are supposed to be good looking, I don't know, the quality, understanding of good looking and beauty is also so different that I used to think somebody is a very ugly man And it seems that he's supposed to be handsome according to Western standards. I said, oh God, how can he be handsome? Yes, he's very handsome, mother. And I was surprised at how, according to Indian standards, nobody would marry such a man, you see. But such a man here is a very handsome man. It's more surprising that how our ideas of beauty also change. But I would say, in this, fundamentally, one should understand that those people who normalize everything by their thinking, you see, the beauty should be means this. Face should be such, the nose should be such, and this and that is all being sort of measured out. You see, this is beautiful. Then, all these ideas of beauty that are thought out, not spontaneous. Not spontaneous, again I say, are not beauty. So people who have pride about these things, like, oh, I have a very beautiful house. Maybe the ugliest house you could think of. Could be the ugliest. I tell you, some of the houses, I just couldn't enter in. I felt like vomiting. And for some people, it's the house one should go and visit. It's all bhoots sitting here and there. If it was a beautiful house, no bhoot would enter it. It's a Shuchita. It's the beauty is in purity. Purity is the expression of beauty. If you have no purity, there cannot be beauty. Now will you please listen to me and then take a photograph. You have been trying for 1 hour and you will try for 3 hours, you cannot get it. So you better listen to me. Now, the purity of a person is very important. And then once you have purity, you have no pride. You become prideless. Absolutely prideless. Because that is also a kind of a stigma. When it is purity, everything drops out. So to be proud of something, or vain, I mean all pride so-called are vanity. Nobody is rightly proud. You have to be proud of your virtues because you enjoy them. You have to be proud of things of which you enjoy. Enjoy. Not happy, but enjoy. Again, discrimination is there. Now, when you start judging yourself like that, you will be amazed. Best is to judge by children's reaction. Not by a bhuti child, but a good realized soul child. Some women, you see, I have seen, dressed up with all that thing and everything like that, you see. And when a child sees it, you see, he can't bear the woman and men are running after her. You see, you can't just understand, a child just can't bear. I have known many such cases, you see, where the children would not look at them, they will just start like that. And best experience I had when I was going. Once I went to Japan and we had a lady with us, very self-conscious American lady. Dressed up like that, and I don't know, she had put some sort of a big thing on her head. God knows what was that. She took about 3 hours to get ready. She went to a beauty salon, this thing, because we were going to see some big man there. And this fellow had a house which was approached by a long road where you have to climb up something. Funny man. So we went there. Now this, on the way, on the left-hand side of that road, there were some little houses from where little children, Japanese, very sweet children, came up to see. And they just rushed to me and I was playing with them. Suddenly one child looked up and this one was there. She said, and now everybody, they all ran away. So I caught hold of a child. I said, why are you running? So he said something in Japanese. So I asked the interpreter what it is. She said, I'll tell you later, but let the child go away. Then I asked, what was the child say? He said, she's a witch. And this lady had spent so much money, 3 hours dressing up herself. I don't know what she was looking like, but the child, she's a witch, you see, they all ran away. And this child was pulling himself saying that, but I couldn't know what was that. So this is so-called beauty of men and women is vanity. their houses, their possessions, their positions, all this pride is nonsense. The one who owns something has no pride because he really owns something. When you really own, when you own everything, why should you be proud? But the way we are proud of our noses and eyes, sometimes I feel you don't own them. If they are part and parcel of your being, what is there to be proud of? So is mother. Then the third one comes as Matsara. Is the way we are sort of impressed by other things and we get jealous of other things. You see, even the jealousy can be subtler. Like if I pay attention more to someone or somebody is more allowed to come and see me, supposing by any chance, then people get jealous of that. On the contrary, one should know mostly I am looking after the people who are more affected. So maybe that there's something wrong with the person, nothing to feel jealous. So, to be jealous of such a person. So this is the person who comes to me feels mother, is the pride that he comes to me. And the others feel jealous of him, but he is poor thing going down every day. And the others are jealous of him. So this is the thing in Matsara. So we have got now, how many I have told you? Four. Now, another is attachment and attractions to people. This is the worst of all. Because the bhuts are always combined with bhuts. You see, in a group you'll find, this group goes together. All the bhuts of one place combined together. You can make it out. In India, where there are people of different places, you see, Australia, England, say Switzerland, and in that also Cambridge, Brighton, then we can say in India also, you see, up to come to one small little, we can say group from Tamworth, alright. All these, you see, you can suddenly find them combined together. Suddenly. They all sit in groups. You can immediately make out. You can say Tamworth group food is there. This group food is there. You see, grouping is one of the ways people show the moha. Then it can go down. My daughter, my son, my this thing. Our country is the worst in this. My wife, my husband. My wife must have this. Why? Why should your wife have? My wife must have a bed. My wife must have a... Why? Why? Why your wife is so special? She's a wife like me, but my child must have this. Why? Or I must have this. Why? This is moha. Moha is to say that I must have this for mine, my mind. First, I, my, mine. You can put it three. I, my, mine. These words should not be pronounced. It should be our. You must have noticed I say so many times. I, who is absolute I. I am absolutely alone, single. But so many said our. I say our disciples, our disciples. Now who are the ours? It's me only. Who else is there? But so many times our disciples are there, our this thing, our. When Gregor wrote his book, I said, don't say I, say our. We. So you should never talk in I's, but talk in we, or at the most if you have to talk about yourself, you should say, this Bala. This Bala wants to go. So you are separated from Bala in a third person. So the I must be dropped out and out because you have finished with it now. That's finished. You are no more that I which was closed down. So no more I exists. Just try to open out yourself to be one with the collective, this moha. Then it can be very subtler and subtler. My country. Say to be proud of India now. I am supposed to be born in India. Sometimes I'm so ashamed to be an Indian. So ashamed to be an Indian, you can't imagine. I mean, then I feel if my hair were blonde, I would be a happier person. Sometimes I'm ashamed to be British when I think the way they behave towards other countries. And sometimes I'm ashamed to be a developing country, and sometimes I'm ashamed to be a developed country because I can enter into any personality. But I better try not to be any one of these where I feel ashamed. There are good and bad points in everything. So why to get attached to anyone? Because everybody has 50-50%. So no use getting attached, you see? Who is Indian and who is British? It's made by human beings only. God has not made you like that. He just created one world. These crazy human beings, they have done this nonsense, you see? So what is there to get attached to someone or detached? Everyone has got good points and bad points. So how are you to say, I don't like this man, I don't like that man? What is there to say? I mean, if I was to say like that, as I said many times, I would have been left high and dry. I don't think I would have a single companion with me. So whom to discard? And whom to get attached to this moha? And another is the desire to own something of possessions, lobha. I see, say, a very nice, what is this set is? Television? No. Huh? Stereo. Very good stereo with Bala. Then I must have it.
It's yours, man.
Huh? I don't know even how to operate. My work is of Miami. See, it's like that. This is to try to have something which you have. Say, I was coming in Tambor. I was looking out what should I buy from Tambor. So, why? What is the purpose? I bought two things. If you remember, we might have forgotten. We went to that shop.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Because that place, these things has been looked by many people have seen this. It's a beautiful thing, has good vibrations. So through those things I can put my attention onto the people who live there. So I always go and purchase something from a shop there somewhere which was on the outside where people were seeing it. You see, they were coming, going, seeing, and their attention has been there. So through that I can work out my attention on these people who have put attention on it. That's matter. And that is how a matter is useful. Without matter, God cannot manifest. He had to materialize himself also in a form to talk to you. And there has to be a form through which he has to act. And that's how I have to get something like that. But when I find that this is all right, I've used it, then I'm not attached. I give up anything. You like it, all right, have it. Just have it. When I have it with me, I use it for a purpose. And when I want to use it for someone that I'm generous, then I say, have it. I use it for my generosity in both ways. So if you want to possess something, to have an attraction for something that you want to have, it should not be for your self-indulgence, but for using it for your generosity. Buy it for somebody. Best is never buy anything for yourself should be the principle. To begin with. And do not, now supposing you say, Of course, this is very nice. I must buy this for XYZ, somebody else, another surgeon. How many would come forward to buy?
So let's again have a few moments, a few minutes of silent meditation. And I'll pull my ears, but I just want to say what Shimataji had said in the beginning of this talk. It wasn't particularly clear, but Mother said that there is no doubt that divine will win over any negativity. And as long as we are individually keep ourselves pure, we'll be fine, we'll be saved. Jai Shri Mataji. We can all raise our Kundalini and put a bandana on. And we're sending loads of love to everyone. Jai Shri Mataji.